We're less than a mile away as the crow flies. As the crow flies. We're no crow. So, it doesn't seem like it's getting any closer. Good morning from a very cold car up a mountain in Costa Rica. We are on the banks of Cerro Chirippo, which is the highest mountain in Costa Rica. We've been exploring Costa Rica the last few days, seeing wildlife such as sloths and frogs and, I don't know, birds, toucans and macaws. And now we're gonna hike to the highest point. It's gonna be a long day. It's now 3 o'clock in the morning. We've just slept in the car and we're gonna be going for the next, I don't know, about 10 hours time. So yeah, well, I don't know how long. So join us. So it's very dark at the moment. We expect it to get light in about a couple of hours. So it's not going to be much footage from the first couple of hours. Moon is out, so that's good. Got a little bit of light to show us the way. So we've just passed kilometre 1. It's taken about 15-20 minutes. In total, it's around about 40 kilometres this, up and down. So just 2 kilometres short of a marathon. So yeah, on we go. It's currently 5:15. So we've been going for about an hour and a half now, roughly. And I don't know what kilometre we're on because my GPS is not working, but it's light. Hopefully soon we're going to be out of the jungle because we've been just going through the jungle this whole time. I'm looking forward to seeing some open spaces. But if you listen out carefully right now, all the birds are waking up, and obviously it's a tropical jungle, so they're making a lot of noises that we're not used to coming from England.
We're now at kilometre 4 and we are 2,192 metres high, and we're going up to about 3,800 metres, so we've got a good way to go.
We just passed the 6 kilometre marker and we've been going for 2 hours at that point. So if we keep this pace up, we'll be a kilometre short of the top in 4 hours time. But if we slow down a bit, have something to eat, blah blah blah, then we'll be doing about 5 kilometres every 2 hours, meaning we'll reach the top by noon in about 6 hours. And then it's just about 5 hours down after that. So we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, we're a bit tired. We're not as fit as we used to be. It's what over a year of travelling does to you. You don't get those regular gym sessions. But yeah, it's much later now and it's quite nice. reached 7 kilometers and we've got this hut here, and hopefully we can refill our water bottles. Exactly 7 o'clock and we've just reached kilometer 8. Not far to go. Just another 26 kilometers, 28 kilometers, 32 kilometers, just another 32 kilometers. It's getting quite steep now. We're over halfway in terms of altitude. We've only got another 1,400 meters to go. Whew. Yeah, it's burning the legs though. So this says, in moments of crisis, the imagination is more important than knowing. Yeah, Albert Einstein. Just reached kilometer 10, the bamboo. There's a bit of bamboo up there. So that's over halfway to the top now in terms of distance. But we're at 3,022 meters, which means we've only got 800 meters to go. How are you feeling, Claire?
Tired. That's tough.
It is very tough, very tough. Most people do this in 2 days. So they come up during the day, sleep at the next base camp that we're going to reach, and then they summit for the sunrise and then come down. But we're trying to do it all in 1 day. Buenos dias. So we're beginning to get away from the jungle now, much more in the open. Got the sun coming down at us and loads of these bugs everywhere. I think they're mating because you can see them attached to each other. Unfortunately the GoPro probably won't observe it. So we're coming up to 12 kilometers and it is 8:30 a.m. So we've been going now for about 4.5 hours, just over. And we can see the possible top. So the top is a volcano, like most mountains or like highest points in Central America, they're usually volcanoes. Just through this shrubbery, you can see the possible top. It's just up there. All of these tree stubs would have been from wildfires. Apparently they happen quite often on this in this area. Between kilometer 13 and 14, and it is relentless. The longest kilometer ever. We still have six to go to get to the top. Alright, we've finally reached base camp. All we have to do is get down there, have a little bit of a lunch, although it's 9:30, and then head to the top, which is another 5k. That was really difficult, wasn't it?
Very.
Yeah.
We're struggling.
Definitely not as fit as we used to be. There's also a lot of elevation gain. It's like we're going up from what, 1.4 to 3.8, so that's 2,400 meters incline, and then down in a day. So it's quite a lot, although we haven't done it yet. So okay, so we've had lunch. Now I'm going to try and get up to the top. So we're in a rush to get to the top for two reasons. One, we don't really fancy walking all the way down in the dark. It gets dark around 5:30 here, maybe a bit earlier. Second, the park officials demand that you have to leave the base camp where we've just been at by noon. We've been averaging about 2.5 kilometers an hour, which means we'll reach the top of this by noon. And then we've got to get down to base camp and then we leave. So we're already pushing it a bit. You see base camp just down there. And we're still not sure where Cerro Chirippo is. Chirippo. I'm saying that right, aren't I, Claire? Yeah, right. We still don't know where Cerro Chirippo is. I imagine we've walked about 1.5 kilometers just then, but yeah, it's that way. But it's starting to get a bit cloudy, so not expecting good views at the top, unfortunately. Just in front is quite a large body of water, like a little lake. It's there. So I imagine Chirippo is either there or there. Yeah. That looks taller, but it's not that. It's just because it's closer. Okay, I figured out which one Chirippo is. It is the one on the far left where my finger is pointing. And we're about halfway between that, the highest point in Costa Rica, and where we were just having lunch at the base camp. So according to that, it's 2,800 meters until we reach Chirippo, which is definitely this one up here, and another 400 meters of incline. So that looks much more than 400 meters, but yeah. I'm not going to argue with the signs. Didn't need to be that dramatic, did it? Doesn't seem like he's getting any closer. Shattered. Starting to get more and more cloudy. We're making progress, albeit slow. We're less than a mile away as the crow flies. As the crow flies. We're no crow. So yeah, I don't know how far it is with us to stop walking, but yeah, it's now 11:05, so we left base camp. Just gonna walk off a cliff then. We left base camp at 9:45, so we've been going an hour and 20 minutes since base camp. Onwards. We're making progress. It definitely seems closer now, closer than we've seen it this whole entire time. It seemed like for the last mile, a couple of miles, just weren't making any progress, but yeah, just on top of these giant boulders now. And there it is, just in the distance. We're getting close. That's where the sign is that we passed maybe about 30 minutes ago. How are you, Chloe?
Exhausted, but we're getting there.
This is the first time this entire hike that I felt like this is actually achievable. It's just felt so far away this whole time. So we're just following the path up here, and then it's either up there where we've been staying this whole time, or there's a peak just beyond this. It could be that. Either way, probably the same amount of effort. There's always another peak, so that's the top. It's not that much further there. We can see it. There's a sign on top. It's late down there, Chloe. Swim?
Maybe later.
So I think I just heard a jaguar. They are up here. But we can't see the summit anymore. It's shrouded in cloud. The final climb. Left our bags. We'll try and make it to the top without them. They're just dragging us down, quite literally. It's just it's so much easier without a bag. There. It's just up there. We're dying. This is one of the hardest day hikes I've ever done. Oh, made it. Oh. Highest person in Costa Rica. Thanks, Chloe. So we are at 3,820 meters, or 12,533 feet. But most importantly, we climbed all the way up from 1,400 meters, which I think is our biggest ever incline in a day. These are the views. It's a little bit cloudy. The arch where we came over. So this bit of ground that I'm standing on is the highest in Costa Rica. It's so cold. We're going to go down and get our bags. Hopefully a jaguar hasn't stolen them. It's been an amazing trip. It's been a hard trip, very difficult. Yeah. Very difficult. And we're going to head down. See you later. Okay, it is now 7:10. I don't want to fall in the last time. 7:10 at night, and we've just got down. For a lot of it, there was rain for about maybe 2 hours coming down on us. It was dark for maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 hours, but we've finally done it. It's 15.5 hours. Pretty much. Chloe's got a blister and done her ankle in, I think. How are you?
I'm so glad we're down.
So we're gonna try and find a KFC or a McDonald's, Mackie D's, and then find accommodation, because we don't have accommodation for tonight. Thanks again for joining us. Good night.